Let's bring in former Levi Strauss brand president and author of Levi's Unbuttoned, Jennifer Sey. Jennifer, it's great to see you and have you on tonight. Let me ask you this, because we're watching this Bud Light thing play out for Anheuser-Busch, and it's just $20 billion in market cap. They've seen almost a 30% reduction in sales as a result of this. People just outright saying, I don't want to drink Bud Light because I don't like what it stands for. At the same time, you've got the company now backpedaling, trying to erase the damage it's done. Wouldn't it have been better to stay out of politics in the first place?
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. These are the perils of woke capitalism, and Bud Light is bearing the brunt of that. And I would say it's the first very large brand and company to really feel the weight of that. But when you stake your brand position on an ideological position in order to reputation launder, rather than on great product and unifying marketing, this is the risk you take. And, you know, if they just stuck with what they do from the very beginning, funny marketing that's unifying during these moments where people want to enjoy a beer, they would have been fine. I think it's interesting that the brands that are gaining share right now, they aren't taking an equal and opposite position. They're just focusing on the product, and their businesses are soaring. Modelo, Coors Light, et cetera. So it really is a rejection of woke capitalism and reputation laundering through marketing.
You know, Jennifer, when I was in politics, I learned that the American people are really forgiving. And if Anheuser-Busch probably just apologized and walked back, they would be forgiven. But then to come out with an ad and have just men grunting, I don't know that this ad is going to actually bring their beer drinking audience back.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they had an opportunity in the beginning to potentially apologize and actually directly address it. Because I want to be clear, people aren't rejecting the idea of inclusion or the idea of diversity. They're rejecting an ideology that's premised upon a lie, an ideology that says men can be women, that says men should be able to compete in women's sports because they say that they're women. That's what people are rejecting. They're rejecting this sort of insistence that we need to further a lie. Now, if they had apologized and sort of recognized early on, but now it's too late, and now they can't really do anything but wait it out. And I don't know if it's going to come back. To your point, the sales keep going down each month. We're up to 30% down. It started at 20. It keeps getting worse. It's not getting better. And I don't think an apology at this point is going to make a difference. But doing a 3x marketing spend right now in the hopes that everybody's going to forget about it is also an insult.
Yeah, I think a mea culpa early on might have been the way to go,
Yeah.
but the company wasn't willing to do that. No. And basically, Jennifer, what I'm hearing from you is what they actually did was they put the priorities of a few ahead of their entire customer base, and now they're paying for it. And they haven't been the only ones to do it. Target has done it. You've got Larry Fink. We're going to take some sound bites from him later in the show of BlackRock. You know, he's been penalized for putting ESG front and center at his firm. And nobody is seeing from the patterns here that it's not working.
Yeah, they're not. Although I would guess, I don't know because I'm not in boardrooms right now, but I would guess that companies across the country are gathering themselves in boardrooms and really coming to some sort of an agreement or realization that they don't want to get Bud Lighted, right? and perhaps retrenching and deciding to get back to focusing on product, to knowing their consumer, to unifying marketing, to financial discipline. They got a little big for their britches, and they forgot who their customer was, and this was insulting to the customer. And that, you know, that's the number one. That's the number one rule in business. Don't forget your customer, right? Appeal to the customer.
4th of July party last night, Hayward, Wisconsin. I didn't see anybody drinking Bud Light, but not far off of that, Jennifer. It looks like major companies are ditching DEI officers. At least 5 diversity executives have stepped down or were pushed out at top companies in the last 2 weeks. Disney, Warner Brothers Discovery, Netflix, even the Oscars, all seeing shakeups in DEI. Is this an end to DEI or a reshuffling of boardrooms and executives across the country?
You know what? This is my take on it. You know, in the summer of 2020, amidst the BLM rallies and in the aftermath of George Floyd, companies, wanted to do something, right? They wanted to help. That's not the worst thing in the world. This is how they did it, which doesn't help the people they claim to be helping. They hired huge DEI departments. Business is now tough. They can't really afford it anymore. These departments haven't delivered an ROI, and so they're going to be the first to go. It's really that simple.
Yeah, it is that simple. All right, Jennifer Sey, thank you so much. We always appreciate you joining us on